This program was made possible by the contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to the News Hour. One of the nation's most prominent conservative activists is dead after being shot during a
One of the nation's most prominent conservative activists is dead after being shot during. Translated into Chinese, one of the nation's most prominent conservative activists is dead after being shot during.
美国国内最知名的保守派活动人士之一，在遭遇枪击后身亡。说明句子
political rally at a Utah college campus this afternoon.
During political rally at Utah College campus this afternoon. During political rally at a Utah College campus this afternoon.
今天下午，在犹他州一所大学校园内举行的政治集会上，
In a social media post,
In a social media post,
President Donald Trump announced Charlie Kirk,
Donald Trump announced Charlie Kirk,
head of the conservative youth organization
the head of the conservative youth organization
Turning Point
USA,
died after being rushed to the hospital from an outdoor event at Utah Valley University.
Died after being rushed to the hospital from an outdoor event at Utah Valley University. Died after being rushed to the hospital from an outdoor event at Utah Valley University.
在犹他谷大学的一场户外活动中遇袭后，他被紧急送往医院，但最终不治身亡。
In the post, the president praised Kirk, saying,
In the post, the president praised Kirk, saying, quote,
no.
How to pronounce quote?
No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie.
Had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. No one had the heart of the youth in. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie.
没人能真正理解美国年轻人的内心，在这一点上，没有人比查理更懂美国的年轻人，也没有人比他更能与他们共情。说。
In the last decade, Kirk has grown as an influential political figure
In the last decade, Kirk has grown as an influential political figure
online and in organizing events on college campuses for conservative causes. Elisa Desjardins has more on the shooting.
Our Lisa Desjardins has more on the shooting.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Email us as always.
Charlie Kirk was a MAGA superstar.
Charlie Kirk was a mega superstar,
A millennial hosting a daily
a millennial hosting a daily. Charlie Kirk was a mega superstar, a millennial hosting a daily.
查理·科克曾是一位超级巨星，他做
What's the meaning of millennial?
millennial 指千禧一代，
Millennial 指千禧一代，通常指生于1981年至1996年之间的人群。
and highly
Daily and highly
influential radio show
influential radio
on
show
more than 200 stations
or more than 200
that
stations
reached across generations.
that reached across generations.
That's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people Utah
Video today
today
showed Kirk speaking at his Utah event.
showed Kirk speaking at his Utah event.
The first in what he called the American Comeback Tour.
The first in what he called the American Comeback Tour.
As Kirk hosted a segment where he took audience pushback,
As Kirk hosted a segment where he took audience pushback. As Kirk hosted a segment where he took audience pushback.
克拉克主持了一个环节，在该环节中，他接受了观众的反驳。
A segment. 环节 hosted a segment where he took audience pushback. Pushback 质疑反驳。
a shot echoed.
A shot echoed. A shot echoed.
A short echo 最核心的意思是
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Go, run.
Crowd events were a staple for Kirk.
Crowd events were a staple for Kirk. Crowd events were a staple for Kirk.
大型群众活动是克拉克的常规项目。
Crowd events 大型群众活动 were a staple for Kirk. Staple 本意是主食，此处用于指核心部分。Were a staple for Kirk.
He regularly toured
He regularly toured
college campuses and
college
was the
campuses
founder of Turning Point USA,
and was the founder of Turning Point USA.
one of the largest conservative student and youth groups in recent years.
one of the largest conservative student and youth groups in recent years.
The side that believes in freedom of speech is the side that I believe is on the
The
是
side,
的，你的理解完全正确。
the side that believes in freedom of speech is the side that I believe is on
right side of history.
the right side of history.
Yeah. Has there been an instance, guys,
Has there been an instance, guys,
where a liberal has had an
where a liberal had
open mic on campus
an open mic on campus
where conservative kids can ask questions and you guys feel respected?
where conservative kids can ask questions? All you guys feel respected?
Billed as the next Rush Limbaugh,
Billed as the next Rush Limbaugh,
this spring the
this
Salem
spring,
Radio Network proclaimed Kirk had the #1 conservative podcast in the country.
Kirk has the #1 conservative podcast in the country,
And #2 in all of news.
and the #2 in all of news.
He drew listeners for his unapologetic style.
He drew listeners for his unapologetic style. He drew listeners for his unapologetic style.
他凭借毫不掩饰的风格吸引了听众。
He drew listeners 吸引听众 for his unapologetic style 毫不掩饰的风格，不道歉的，毫不掩饰，坦率直言的。He drew listeners for his unapologetic style.
Proclaiming people should say outrageous things.
Proclaiming people should say outrageous things. Proclaiming people should say outrageous things.
他宣称人们应该说些出格的话。
Proclaiming 宣称 people should 人们应该 say outrageous things 出格的话，出格的，令人震惊的话。Outrageous things.
And indeed, his words, like these on guns, could be controversial.
And indeed, his words like these on guns could be controversial.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every
I think it's worth to have cause of unfortunately some gun deaths
single year,
every single year,
so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
Kirk was married with 2 small children.
Kirk was married with 2 small children.
He was 31 years old.
He was 31 years old.
For the PBS News Hour, I'm Lisa Desjardins.
A university spokesperson said a suspect in the shooting was initially taken into custody, but police soon determined that person was not actually the shooter. Political leaders on the left and right have expressed their shock.
Political leaders on the left and the right have expressed their shock
Over Kirk's murder and condolences for his family.
over Kirk's murder and condolences for his family. Condolences for his family.
向他的家人表示慰问。
向他的家人表示慰问。Condolences. 慰问。吊唁。
House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries said political violence is completely incompatible with
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said political violence is completely incompatible
American values.
with American values.
Republican Senator Ted Cruz called it an act of unspeakable evil.
Republican Senator Ted Cruz called it an act of unspeakable evil.
For more on Kirk and his influence on the political right,
For more on Kirk and his influence on the political right,
we're joined now by Dave Weigel, who
we are joined now by Dave Weigel,
covers politics for Semaphore.
who covers politics for Semaphore.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
The kind of event that Charlie Kirk hosted in Utah with hundreds, potentially thousands of college students coming to listen to him, that was not at all uncommon.
Not at all. The format is important.
The format is important. The format is important. 格式很重要。
Format is going to be remembered because
The format is going to be remembered
Kirk did not pioneer.
Because Kirk did not pioneer. Kirk did not pioneer. Cook 并未开创先河。
Pioneer, but he sort of perfected this idea of a conservative speaker going on campus and not just being in an auditorium with a guest list.
Not just being in an auditorium with a guest list. Not just being in an auditorium with a guest list. 不只是在一间有宾客名单的礼堂里 Not just being in a auditorium 礼堂 with a guest list 有宾客名单
Going to the widest possible space.
Going to the widest possible space.
Having his people film it. Having
his people film
else film it.
Having everyone else film it.
And debating students. Ideally, having somebody in the crowd say something silly that goes viral.
Ideally, having somebody in the crowd say something silly that goes viral.
But he took it very seriously.
This is
a man who he left college to start this organization.
This is a man who had left college to start this organization.
Was a very self-taught.
A lot
of philosophy.
In a lot of philosophy.
A lot of religion. A lot of
religion.
Of history.
A lot of history.
Very confident in his beliefs.
Very confident in his beliefs.
Christian beliefs.
His Christian beliefs.
And thought he was making converts.
And thought he was making converts. He was making converts. 他当时正在争取他人改变立场。He was making converts.
Was making converts. The
He was making converts.
organization grew massively every single year he ran it.
The organization grew massively every single year he ran it.
And he was no outside influence.
And he was no outside influencer. He was no outside influencer. 他并非外部影响力人士。I mean,
He was personally close to President Trump. They
he was personally close to President
would go
Trump.
back and forth on issues.
They would go back and forth on issues. They would go back and forth on issues. 他们会就各种问题反复讨论。
I'm told.
I'm
When
told.
Charlie thought that things were important to the base, he would
When Charlie thought that things were important to the base,
tell President Trump there
he would tell
was
President Trump
this idea that he had his finger on the pulse
on the pulse of MAGA movement more
of the
so
MAGA movement more so than did some Trump advisors.
than did some Trump advisors.
He did. They influenced each other.
They did. They influenced each
Kirk
other.
started this organization when he was a teenager, and it was much more Tea Party focused.
Kirk started this organization when he was a teenager, and it was much more Tea Party focused. It was much more Tea Party focused. 他的关注点更多关注在茶党上。
Focused on the debt. The debt
Focused on the
is a threat
debt,
to future
the debt as a threat to generations.
generations. He did not love Trump at first in 2016.
He did not love Trump at first in 2016,
But Don Jr. loved his attitude.
but Don Ju loved his attitude.
The Trump family and the Trump organization elevated Kirk.
The Trump family and the Trump organization elevated Kirk.
Kirk elevated Trump.
Kirk elevated Trump.
And the image that Donald Trump has with young people has improved over the years.
And the image that Donald Trump has with young people has improved over the years.
Lots of people are going to take credit for that, but
Lots of people are going to take credit for
part
that.
of that was Kirk aggressively organizing
But part of that was Kirk aggressively
on
organizing
campuses,
on campuses,
in the media, and not just the media that we're on,
in the media, and not just the media that we are on,
but on phones.
but on
He was one of
phones.
the most popular
He was one of the most popular
figures with people were looking at debate on their phones, scrolling through
figures with people who were looking at the debate on their phones, scrolling through. Most popular figures with people who were looking at the debate on their phones, scrolling through. 他通过手机浏览辩论内容的人群，在通过手机浏览辩论内容的人群中，他是最受欢迎的人物之一。On their phone, scrolling through.
I want to see a video of something interesting.
I want to see a video of something
want
interesting.
to see interesting debate.
I want to see interesting
He was
debate.
open with what kind of guests he'd have.
He was open with what kind of guests he'd have.
That was his theory, which
That was his
Trump
theory,
really adopted in 2024.
which Donald Trump really adopted in 2024.
That comes from what a lot of Kirk was doing. Go
That comes from what a lot of Kirk was doing.
anywhere, talk to
Go anywhere,
anybody, make a convert from somebody who might think they hate conservatives.
talk to everybody, make a convert from somebody who might think they hate conservatives.
And how did he influence the GOP's posture toward culture war issues?
And how did he influence the GOP's posture toward culture war issues? And how did she influence the GOP's posture toward culture war issues? And how did he influence the GOP's translate into Chinese? 他是如何想共和党在文化战争议题上的立场的 posture towards culture war issues,
Especially on college campuses.
especially on our college campuses.
Yeah, he said in a few of those clips, but think of the time he
Yes, he said in a few of those clips, but think of the time he
was
was.
coming up in on college campuses. This is one of the most debated issues of our time. There have been restrictions on what you can say about various identity groups, sexual identity groups, minorities, etc. The conservative position has been no, complete free speech.
The conservative position has been no complete free
You're not allowed
speech.
to do that. So
You are not allowed to do
he had
that.
these traditional conservative views,
So he had these traditional conservative
and he
views,
framed them as somebody coming in from outside to say,
and he framed them as somebody coming in from outside to say,
you are being misled, your
you are being misled,
minds are being
your mind are being
shrunk by what is happening on your campus.
by what is happening on your campus.
You should have an open mind.
You should have an open
And he
mind,
would think if you
and he would think,
talk to me long enough, you're going
if you talk to me long
to agree
enough,
with me.
you're going to agree with me.
But in terms of the culture wars,
But in terms of culture wars,
very aggressive on transgender rights.
very aggressive on transgender rights,
But on the entire kind of left-wing critical
but on the entire left-wing critical theory
that had grown up over the last 40 years.
that had grown up over the last 40 years.
He was very comfortable debating that.
He was very comfortable debating that.
And in the last 9 months, obviously with Trump in power, winning on that.
And in the last 9 months, obviously, with Trump and power winning on that.
A lot of these ideas are informing how the Trump administration, and there are people in it who
A lot of these ideas are informing how the Trump administration and there are people
who
in
worked
it
for Turning Point
who work for
USA at some point in their careers,
Turning Point US at some point in their careers,
how they view the left, which
how they view the
is
left,
don't
which is
apologize, endless combat.
don't apologize and let's
There's
combat.
some of Trump in there, but Trump was never as comfortable in conservatism as Kirk was.
These some of Trump's in there, but Trump was never as comfortable in conversation as Kirk was.
And how does his work compare with earlier conservative youth
And how does his work compare with earlier conservative youth
movements like Young
movements like
Americans for Freedom
Young Americans for Freedom
or anything that we saw during the Reagan era?
or anything that we saw during the Reagan era?
Right. Well, it was modeled on some of that, but
Right, well, it was modeled on some of
the
that,
times had changed.
but the times had
And
changed.
but William F. Buckley in 1950s and 60s, for example,
And look, William F. Berkeley in the 1950s and 60s, for example,
did not have to say so much about how it was good to get married. It
did not have to say so much about how it was good to get married.
was good to go to church.
It was good to go
Was
to
good to have
church.
children.
It was good to have children.
Kirk saw part of his role as combating change in the culture.
Kirk saw part of his role as combating change in the culture.
And a lot of this is feminism, is
And a lot of this is feminism,
things that have been very mainstream
is things that have been
in
very
American
mainstream in
politics for
American politics
quite a
for
while, and saying,
quite a while and say,
no, they're actually
no.
making your life worse. And he had different ways of coming at that. Some were
And they had different ways of coming at that.
more combative, some were
Some were
more welcoming.
more welcoming.
But that was what changed. And
But that was what changed.
he came into the conservative movement at a time where marriages were falling.
Came into the conservative movement at a time where marriages were falling.
People were having children later.
People were having children later.
Pop culture had changed the way it covers these life facts.
Pop culture had changed the way it covers these life facts.
And that was part of it. There's a lot of influencers in this space. The manosphere.
And that was a part of it. There's a lot of influence in this space. There's a lot of influencers in this space, the manosphere.
Even call him. He took some of
You could even call him.
that and moved it into politics, saying, "Look,
He took some of that and moved it into politics, saying,
you shouldn't just vote Republican because you want a tax cut.
look, you all shouldn't just vote Republican because you want a tax
You
cut.
should vote Republican because look how happy your life is going to be with this family.
Because look how happy your life is going to be with this family.
Compared to how you'll be angry and left wing and finding enemies online.
Compared to how you will be angry and left wing and find enemies online.
And his brand of activism in many ways fit within the broader trend toward politics as performance.
The bird trend toward politics as performance.
Oh, it completely did. Just
Oh, it completely did.
the popular.
Just the
We talked
populist.
about other conservatives in the past. William F. Buckley was a big cultural figure and had his weekly show. But Kirk, like I was saying, was in people's phones all the time. He wrote his way, talked his way into the halls of power, had the influence of the president of the United States, first time and more so this time. Uh, Trump has, who had mastered the media in his own way, has elevated these figures and had an understanding that a lot of people who didn't used to vote, didn't take politics very seriously, can
Didn't take politics very seriously.
come into politics through culture,
Can come into politics through culture,
through commentary. So
through commentary.
Turning Point USA, again, was growing, and Turning Point Action, the political arm, growing every year. But a lot of what it was doing was saying, all right, you're interested in our content because of this debate we had on campus, this viral video we had, this documentary we had, this reporter who was at a protest. Here's how you can get involved and help Donald Trump get elected. Very successful in 2024. And I saw some of this up close, finding people who never would have cared about politics 10, 20 years ago, but they did care. They had some issue that got them interested, and Turning Point Action was getting them information on their ballots.
Turning Point Action was getting them information on their ballots to turn out. Turning Point Action was getting them information on their ballots to turn out. 转折点行动当时在做的是向他们提供有关其规章制度的信息，以促使他们参与投票。Not by law, it's ballots. Turning Point Action was getting them information on their ballots to turn out. Not by laws, it's ballots.
Turnout. So this is an operation, you've seen this from people in the White House already, saying people will carry on his legacy. That's some of the legacy that's going to be carried on, is this combination of constant contact and attention and political action.
Well, our thoughts are certainly with this family. Dave Weigel, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Charlie Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA, has over 850 college chapters across the country. Translated into Chinese. 查理·科克创办的组织美国转折点，在全美拥有850个高校分会 chapters 分会 across the country。